When operating a ride, there are a few things to remember. First, no cell phones or electronic devices should be used when operating a ride. Second, make sure nobody is inside the gate when the ride begins. Third, remember to close the gate when starting the ride. Also, for each ride, remember to rip the tickets and stick them into the ticket bin. The go-karts are 3 tickets a person. When operating the go-karts, make sure the children are taller than the black line and shorter than the red line. If they are within the red or black lines, they are able to ride. Have the children go to the front cars if not all cars are filled. Each car can only have 1 person. When all the children are seated, have them put their arms through the seatbelt. If someone struggles reaching the pedals, you can add the black seat to the car. Then explain the following rules. Push the green pedal to go, push the red pedal to stop, follow the arrows and go around in a circle until the gate is opened. When you come in the gate, go slow and remain seated until you are instructed to get up. And no bumping into each other. After these rules are explained, push down B on the remote until all cars are activated. Instruct the children to go. When they are out of the start, push down on C. Start the timer for 3 minutes. While time runs, move the cars not being driven forward so there is room when the cars come back into the gate. When time is out, tell the kids to go around one last time and open the gate. As they come in, press down on B to slow them down. Remind them to stay seated until all cars are in and once you've pushed star on the remote. Once all cars have been stopped, instruct the kids that they can get up. Close the gate and walk the kids out of the fence and close the gate behind you. Water Wars is 2 tickets per bucket and each bucket has 5 balloons. Customers can give you 4 tickets for 2 buckets on each team as long as there isn't a line. Otherwise, they have to go at the end of the line. If anyone they are with wants to stand under while they play, they can do so. Instruct them to load 1 balloon in the slingshot with the tie down. Then they can pull down and let go, aiming for the target. Each can take turns until all balloons are gone. While they play, you should be filling balloons to medium size. Don't make them too small or they won't pop. If a kid has no one to play with, you are able to play against them. No water balloons are to leave the playing area or to be thrown at each other. Downpour Derby is 2 tickets for 2 people to play. If there are 3 people, 1 person can stand next to the person cranking. Have them stand opposite sides of each other. They can crank the lever until they get soaked 2 or 3 times. When everyone is done, make sure to put the chains back onto the latch. This ride is 2 tickets. However, if parents or older siblings want to ride with the child, they don't have to pay 2 tickets. Help the kids into the car, and once they are seated, pull the rope across their lap and secure it. Tell them to stay seated and to keep their hands inside. Make sure all the ropes are secure, even if no one is riding in them. Switch the lever up and turn the knob so the arrows match one another. After the 3rd time around, stop the critter track in front of the green mats by slowly turning the knob back, and when stopped, flip the switch back down. Help the children out of the cars and connect the ropes again before leaving the ride. The swings are 2 tickets a person. Once the kids choose the swing, unlatch the chain and hold the seat steady as they climb up, or help them if needed. Once they are seated, if the kid is small, make sure to use the small buckles to keep them in. Then pull the chain back and lock it. If an adult wants to ride, they have to be able to fit in one of the 2 seats. If they do not fit, they are unable to ride. Check that all chains are locked, even on the seats not being used. Before starting the ride, tell everyone to make sure to sit back. Tell them that the ride will go one direction, stop, and then go the other direction. Flip the switch to on and the second switch to forward. Slowly turn the knob from 0 to 100 and start the clock for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Once the time is up, turn the knob back down to 0 and into neutral until the swings stop. Switch to reverse and slowly start back up to 100 after telling everyone it is going to go the other direction, looking to make sure everyone is still secure in their seats. Start the clock for another minute and 30 seconds. When time is up, turn the knob back to 0. Flip switch to neutral and switch to off. Close the box and help the kids out of the seat, making sure all the chains are locked before leaving the ride. The carousel takes 2 tickets, and parents or older siblings are allowed to ride free with the kids. Before they enter, inform them that only the horses go up and down. The zebra and giraffes do not. Anyone over 125 pounds has to ride on the zebra, giraffe, or bench. If children are small, buckle them using the straps. Once everyone is ready, hit the red button. Make sure the lines on the knob are matched up. If the ride needs to be stopped for any reason, push in the emergency stop on the side and then pull it back out. Help all children down when the carousel slows down and is completed. The teacups are 2 tickets per person. Small children need to sit away from the opening of the teacup. When you let kids in, tell them not to start spinning until the ride begins. Tell them to remain seated and then start the music. Push the start button when everyone is ready. If the ride needs to be stopped for any reason, push in the emergency stop and pull it back out. When the ride stops, instruct everyone to stop spinning, and when everyone stops, hold the teacups as they get out. The rock wall is 2 tickets per person. Women who are pregnant and kids under 30 pounds cannot climb the wall. If you are uncertain about the weight, you can have them stand on the scale, or you can harness them to see if they climb up and come down slowly. Grab a harness and tell them to hold the loop near their belly button as you secure the black strap around their waist and tighten. Make sure both latches click and lock. Inform kids that the blue and red straps will go in between their legs as you bring it through and latch it, pulling it tight. If it is an adult, ask them to bring the straps between their legs. Check all latches and ask the customer if anything feels too tight or too loose. If everything is good, ask them if they want to try easy, medium, or hard. When connecting them to the wall, push the latch down and to the left. Put the hook onto the loop of the harness. Instruct them to hit the button at the very top, and if they want to come down, to hold on to the red cable and let go while kicking off the wall. Let them try about 2 to 3 times, depending on how long the line is. More than one person can be climbing the wall at once, but only one person per difficulty. The bouncy house is 2 tickets per person. Instruct kids to take off their shoes, hats, and any other sharp items that they may have. As they enter, instruct them that there are no flips allowed and to stay away from the door. The bouncy house can have 5 to 6 kids or 4 adults. Once inside, click the door and press the black button in the mailbox. When time is up, the buzzer will go off and you can tell the kids to come out. The play area is free for small children, and if you are watching the bouncy house, you can keep an eye on it. Children just have to take off their shoes and be shorter than the red line. This ride is 3 tickets a person, and each person has to be taller than the red line. Make sure the cars are started and the stop button is pushed before letting people into the gate. If any of the cars are not being used, pull the latch out in the back of the bumper car and push the bumper car off to the side. If you need to start the bumper cars, turn the switch to on and pull the cable to start. You may have to push down on the seat to get it running. Then make sure the latch is in on the back. When everyone is seated, tell them to put their arms through the seatbelt. Then explain the following rules. To go forward, push both levers forward. To go backwards, pull both levers back. To turn, move the levers in opposite directions. When you bump into someone, back up, don't keep pushing forward. After the rules, hit the start button and start the clock for 3 minutes. When time is up, hit the stop button and tell them it is time to come off. Don't let the bumper cars run for long periods of time if they aren't being used in order to save gas. On hot days, make sure the seats are facing opposite of the sun in order to keep them cool. If a kid has no one to go with and it is slower, another coworker can go against them. For 1 ticket, people can go down the slide 2 times. Kids that are shorter than the height requirement must go with an adult, but the adult does not have to pay. Just make sure that each rider is sitting on the blanket in a forward-facing position. The roller coaster is 3 tickets per person. Kids that are between 42 and 48 inches have to ride with an adult. Kids over 48 inches can ride alone. Make sure to measure small children. Smaller children need to go in first into the train car. 3 children can sit in the seat as long as they fit comfortably. Before the ride starts, push down the lap bars and then pull up to make sure that they are locked. Use the counter to keep track of how many people went onto the ride. When starting the ride, push down on the pedal, releasing all the air and keep holding it down. Pull the train noise cable twice and then hold down on the green button. Keep the metal and green button pushed down. Once the train comes in after the second lap and passes the second wheel, you can take your foot off of the pedal. When the train leaves the top of the track, you can let go of the green button. When the train comes in, grab the air compressor hose and use it to release the lap bars. Let everyone out before letting new customers enter. When leaving the ride, make sure the box is closed. The Ferris wheel is 2 tickets per person, or 5 tickets if 3 people sit in one car. Kids under 48 inches have to ride with an adult. When loading people onto the ride, you need to push down on the pedal to level the platform. Pull the button out to release the lap bar, and then pull the leg piece down. When loading, you need to balance by filling opposite cars on the wheel and making sure the weight in each car is about the same. Once customers are in the car, pull the lap bar down to make sure the smaller bar is in first if there are smaller children. Otherwise, tell the parents to hold on to their kids. Make sure to tell them not to rock the seat. Pull up on the lap bar to make sure it locks. Have everyone wait outside the gate as you bring the next car around. Step behind the white beam, unlock the stop button, and press the start button. Then push the lever and slowly move it to your right. Once it has reached its full speed, make sure that it is locked in position. Start the timer for 3 minutes and use the counter to add customers. When time is up, unload similar to how you loaded in order to keep the wheel balanced at all times. On hot days, make sure to bring the foot piece up over the wheel and the lap bar down and secure to keep the seats cool. When leaving the ride, make sure the lever is pulled all the way to the left and the stop button is pushed and locked. Anyone who spits on the Ferris wheel needs to be removed and kicked out of the park. Throughout the day, it is important to check the batting cages to make sure there are enough softballs for each of the batters. If the softballs are running low, please ask the customers to wait while you fill the machines. To fill the machines, begin by kicking the softballs towards the conveyor belt. To turn on the conveyor belt, reach your hand under the control panel and push the switch towards you and then back towards the machine. The first 2 machines have a sensor in the very front corner. If the sensors are full of softballs, the conveyor belt will deposit softballs to the next machine. If a machine is not receiving softballs but is empty, make sure to move all softballs off of the sensor so that it is recognized as empty. When arriving to the park, unlock the gate and keep the main gate unlocked but closed. Proceed to the shed and unlock the shed, leaving the lock next to the light switch. Turn on the animal car and the photo booth. Grab the ticket office key and the key for under the slide and unlock both. Proceed to clock in and follow the checklist. The first person does the following. Unlock the batting cages and pull the bats out. Make sure all the softballs are kicked. Use the leaf blower to blow water from the golf course. Also, use the leaf blower to clean the following areas: the bank shot basketball courts, the go-kart track, balloons out of the Water Wars area, the critter track walkway, around the swings, near the bouncy house, the play area, the bumper cars, the rock wall, the slide, and the batting cages. When blowing leaves out of the batting cages, make sure to blow in the direction of the teacups and then out of the fence. Also, use the leaf blower to clean near the building and by the concessions area. Make sure the slide is dry, waxed, and that the blanket box is open and the arm is locked. Also, be sure to open the gates by noon. The second person to open will do the following. Turn on the music to the park and the carousel. Turn on the main power for the rides. Take out the bumper cars and run them, checking the belts, checking that they are full of gas, and taking the metal panel off of the control box and laying it on the dryer underneath the slide. When unlocking the whisper carts, make sure that the doors are locked again for when closed at night. Be sure to hang all of the charging cords onto the wall and drive the cars out and put them in place. Make sure to put the remote and timer in their appropriate locations. When setting up Water Wars, connect the bungee straps, set the buckets out as well as the aprons, grab a bag full of balloons, and turn on the water. When running the critter track, dry off the seats, check the ropes, and walk around the critter track to look for any debris that may be on the rails. When running the swings, run them for a few minutes in both directions and check the belts and chains for any damage. When running the Ferris wheel, let it run for a few minutes, turn on the TV, and make sure the seats are dry. When running the roller coaster, turn on the air compressor, leave the shed door open, and grab the key for the control box. Run the coaster for a few times, making sure that the lap bars stay securely in position. When running the carousel, run the ride and check the belts as well as the emergency brake. When running the teacups, run them for a few minutes, start the music, dry off any seats that may be wet, and test the stop button. When opening the rock wall, put the harnesses out, pull on the buggies to make sure that they are tight, and check the harnesses for any damage. When opening the bouncy house, Lift the east side to drain any water, pull the sandbags off and roll up the tarp. Lift the top of the bouncy house and make sure the inside is dry. When opening the play area, be sure to clean out any debris or bird poop from the items. The second person to open will also open the concessions. When opening concessions, be sure to do the following. Put the money into the till, making sure the correct amount is there. Turn on the water for the ice cream scoops, making sure the plug is in place and the water is turned on slowly. Turn the hot dog machine on and turn the front rollers to 5. Put 4 hot dogs and 2 corn dogs onto the rollers. Before putting corn dogs onto the rollers, be sure to heat them up in the microwave. Use the metal handle to open the gate for the concession window, and make sure to flip the sign to open. Take the garbage can outside and stick it next to the pillar in front of the concession stand. Lastly, take the ice cream flag and stick it into the ground. When done, fill out the checklist sheet and open the ticket office. When closing the park, do everything from opening, but in reverse. Also, make sure the following tasks are completed. Empty the garbages, clean the building, clean the bathrooms, turn the lights for the park off, and collect the money. When cleaning the building, make sure all the doors and windows are locked. Then proceed to do the following. Clean the windows, stack all the tables and chairs, empty the garbages, sweep, mop with the building mop, vacuum the rugs, and clean the drinking fountain. When cleaning the bathrooms, make sure that the doors are locked. Grab the gloves from the storage closet and proceed to do the following. The first person will use cleaner to clean the countertops, door handles, stall doors, toilet seats, and soap dispenser. They will also clean the mirror, sink, hand blower, and handrails. Be sure to clean the wall underneath the hand blower. The second person will do the following. Empty the garbage, sweep the floor, mop the floor with the bathroom mop, as well as fill the toilet paper and the soap if empty.